Hey everybody, it's Monkeyfarm, and today I'm going to do a tutorial on my new melon farm. It's fully automated, and all you have to do is sit and wait, and melons will grow, and they will end up in your chest waiting for you. So my original plan was to use repeaters in a row to tell the machine when all of the melons had grown, but I figured out that it takes so long for all these melons to grow that you could be waiting here with 3 grown melons and they wouldn't harvest until the 4th one finally grows. And then, as you can see, there's a ton of, even with all the glass here, there's a bunch of floating melons that never get harvested or never make it into your chest. Then in a second version, using the same concept with the repeaters, I realized that you could have hoppers and with repeaters on them, and they would still collect the drops. So I put hoppers around all of these, but that didn't solve the problem. I still had to wait until all of the melons were grown in the row. So what I did is basically just made a modular smart piston design where I could take one melon spot and have a piston harvest it whenever it grows. And then so I expanded that and had 2 next to each other. And as you can see, we haven't had a floating melon yet. They are all, oh, there's one finally. So it's very rare that you get a floating melon. Most of them get sucked up into the hoppers. And then what I did is expanded that and hooked a bunch of them together. Alright, first I'm going to show you how to make the design for a single melon block, and then once you know how it works, I'll show you how to expand it. So let's start with 2 dirt blocks, and we want to pick a point where we want all of our items to end up. So I'm going to put a chest there. That can be a dispenser, a dropper as well. As you saw in my Let's Play, in my survival map where I built this, I had a dispenser shoot them into a water canal and send them off to a chest in my base. So what I'm going to do here is start from the end point where you want the items in and put hoppers around and connect them all. You basically need to shift click the hopper so that you see the little bottom there is pointed into the other hopper. And then over here we can have 2 hoppers pointed at this one. So any items that fall into any of these hoppers will end up in this chest. Alright, get your hose ready. You need to hoe that and put a seed there. We don't need to hydrate because once the seed is there, it won't, the soil will not untill. And our melon is going to be growing here. So the cool thing about this design is that we can place repeaters on top of a hopper, and the items that drop will still fall through and end up in your chest. So you want to place a repeater behind the dirt block where the melon's going to grow, pointed at it, and then one on the other side of it pointed the same direction. The second one you want on full delay. Okay. In front of that repeater, you need a block with a redstone torch on top of it, and another block on top of that, and a torch on the side like that. And this is where our sticky piston is going to go, pointed down right at the block where the melon will be. And then you want some kind of clear block. You don't want a solid block here. You want glass or something like that. And it's always good to have some kind of permanent lighting next to the seed. So I'm going to put that above here. And we need one more block behind this repeater, and you can put a redstone torch. So now everything is ready. That's everything you need. Aside from the melon seed needs to be fully grown before it will grow a melon, but let's just simulate that. Now how this works, it's called a smart piston. So the repeater powers the melon and sends a signal through here that inverts the torch right here and extends the piston. Now this repeater right here, you want a full delay because that will keep this piston extended, which will mean you don't end up with floating blocks on top of your chest here, like that. So you don't want any melons that don't get harvested and sucked up into the chest. Okay, so as you can see, all the melons are making it over here into the chest. Okay, so to expand this, you want to repeat everything here except you don't need the extra hoppers in between. So in other words, you can just place a row of dirt in the middle as far as you want, and then what you do is just till the soil, plant a seed. This is where the melon will grow. So I'm going to do both of these next to each other, and the melon will grow here, and then I'm going to have another one growing next to that one, and why not do 2, then 2, skip back and forth in between, and why don't we just cut it off here. Okay, now if you want this to be kind of a symmetrical design, what you can do is just build on this side and make it a mirror image. So these hoppers will end up pointing this direction into that center hopper instead of keep sending the hoppers that way. So this will be our center point where all of the hoppers end up pointing towards. Okay, so once you have your setup where you want all of the seeds planted, all you have to do is continue the row of hoppers. I'm just holding shift and clicking. You want to make sure all the hoppers are pointed into the one next to them, otherwise the melons won't end up in your chest. So you do that on both sides. And we are almost done. All we have to do is behind each melon, or where each melon will be growing, is you put a block with a torch and a repeater, and we're just going to repeat this whole design. Okay, whoops. Don't forget, full delay. Okay, time for the blocks in front of our repeaters. Now I'm holding shift while placing this block, otherwise all it's going to do is change the ticks on your repeater. And then a torch. And a block. And more torches, and then sticky pistons pointed down. Whoops, the melons are already powering the smart pistons, so I need to get rid of those real quick. And then we just need our glass on the sticky pistons. And we are done. Aside from adding glowstone or making this thing look nice, everything is ready. Now on the end, of course, as you can see, this is why we need the hoppers on the end. So whenever you find the end, put some more hoppers around the edge. And now you won't lose any melons. Alright, why don't we fire off a few of these, get some melons in the chest. And all of these melons should be coming here into the chest. Now, in my third world survival map, I had my farm in a kind of remote location, and I wanted the melon slices to be sent over to my base. Now, you can do that really easily with hoppers, but of course that's wasteful. So, if you want to connect these as far as you want. But what I had done is, or at least until I get an iron golem farm and I don't care about wasting hoppers, is I put a dropper here, and you point a comparator into it, and that will auto-update. Now, of course, you have to power the dropper, which this redstone torch is doing. If for some reason you don't have a redstone torch next to it, let me get these out of here. You can just put a lever underneath it and turn it on. Be careful not to put a lever in certain places that might power one of these hoppers, because then if let's say that hopper is powered, they won't go through the hopper if it's powered. So be careful about that. And then I had the dropper, put the items into a water canal, and I had ice under here, which makes them flow a lot quicker. Okay, and you can also use ice to extend how far you send the items. So let's say I want to keep sending them. This is obviously more than 8 blocks, so one normal block of water will not reach that far. But if we put a sign on top of the ice block here, this ice won't melt, and the other items will slide across the ice and just continue on in the water stream. And let's try that again. There we go, and the items will keep going. Then, of course, all you have to do at the very end is put a chest and a hopper into it, or a dispenser, whatever it is you want. And when you drop your items, or when your melon slices are sent over here, they'll go into the hopper, unless they get stuck. Oh, I don't have ice there. Hang on. There we go. And they will make it into the hopper and into your chest. And that's about it. So make sure you check out my LP video where I built this in my base. Pretty cool. And please give a like or a favorite, something like that. I would greatly appreciate it. It actually does help quite a bit. And I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and we'll see you guys later.